Today's topic is fifth chapter, continuous comprehensive evaluation. So in this chapter we are going to discuss how we can able to apply continuous comprehensive evaluation in teaching learning process. So let us discuss in detail about what is continuous comprehensive evaluation. Language learning is a continuous process. Assessment is not an activity distinct from a learning. Since learning is facilitated through group discussions, peer discussions, and individually, assessment also operates at the individual level, in peers and in groups. This will help the learners to compare their strengths and weaknesses and make modifications in their learning. So, we propose continuous comprehensive assessment at all levels of language because of the following reasons. So, first one, CCE is an attempt to shift from rote learning to constructing knowledge and applying it as and when required. So, continuous comprehensive evaluation is an ongoing process and is an integral part of the lesson. At every point of the classroom transaction, we will have to assess what the child has learned for which the same activities that are used for teaching and learning are used. Next, second one, NCF 2005, SCF 2011, Right to Education Act 2009 have emphasized the importance of implementing CCE, where all assessments have to take place in a non-threatening atmosphere without causing burden on the learners. Because when we are going to do assessment inside the classroom, whenever we are going to do assessment inside the classroom, there as a teacher we should not hmm, we should not pay burden on the learner. When student is going to feel burden inside the classroom, when you are going to apply when you are going to test the knowledge of the learners, so there is no use of that testing to the learners. To avoid that situation, so what is compulsory? Applying CCE in non-threatening atmosphere and without giving burden to the students. And next point, formative assessment is different from summative assessment. Means that formative assessment is going to take place by concentrating on all areas without preparing the question paper. But whereas summative assessment is completely different from formative assessment, in summative assessment we are going to prepare the question paper. For summative paper, question paper 1, 2, like that we are going to prepare a question paper. Unit test will be there, quarterly will be there, half yearly will be there, annual exam will be there, pre-final will be there. For every area we are going to prepare the question paper and we are going to test the knowledge of the learners. So we have to understand there is a lot of difference between formative and summative assessment. And the last one, a truly professional teacher need to be patient, innovative and assess his or pupils progress in every period in each class and give a proper feedback on each and every pupil, so that language acquisition takes place in a smooth, natural and non-conscious manner. Means that you are going to assess the learner inside the classroom. When you are going to assess the learner inside the classroom in an individual manner, so wherever feedback is necessary, there as a teacher there is need to give a feedback to the learner. So when you give a feedback to the learner, then that student will try to modify his behavior or her behavior. And next topic is concept of evaluation. Examination reforms is an important component of curriculum, and the evaluation is powerful means of improving the quality of education. All the educational committees recommended for reducing emphasis on external examination and encouraging internal assessment through CCE. The scope of evaluation in school extends all the areas of the learner's personality development. It includes both scholastic and co-scholastic areas and should be comprehensive in nature. So this is the line with the goal of education. So generally, if we are going to test the knowledge of the learners by using only an examination, it is nothing but it is a threatening atmosphere. By concentrating on all areas, sports, art, culture, education, by concentrating on all areas, if you are going to do either assessment or evaluation of the learner, so then there is a possibility of all round development of the child. So all round development of the child is going to depends upon curricular and co-curricular areas. When you are going to assess both curricular and co-curricular areas, so there you need to expect there is a productivity among the children. So this is the concept of evaluation. Next topic is the present status of assessment. Mismatch between curricular goals and assessment content means that the content which is available in the textbook, so their assessment of the content is different, and whatever curricular goals are prepared by the educationist, those areas are different. Next, second one, domination of a paper pencil test and no focus on oral performance. Next, third one, the test results do not have any impact on teaching because the next stage of syllabus will be tested in the next examination. Next, fourth one, children's individual learning needs are downgraded in the push to cover the syllabus before next assessment. And the next one, memory oriented responses without much focus on original thinking and expression. And education seems to be transmission of information and learning reproduced from the textbooks. The curriculum aims at developing a holistic personality, but the practice reflects transition, a few subjects, languages, non-languages, and no focus on creative areas like arts, crafts, values, health, and physical education, life skills, etc. Next one, the assessment does not focus on anything during learning but only after learning, the completion of the unit term, and helps in categorizing the students as bad, average, good, etc. based on their performance. Teacher seldom takes assessment results as a feedback to their teaching and change teaching learning process and focus on neglected aspects of learning. More focus on teaching what is going to be assessed, therefore use of guides and guide type material. And last one, educational change is limited by the power of the assessment practices. And the next topic is CCE and examination reforms. Number of educational committees expressed their view there is need to bring reforms in examination system, because old examination system is completely different and which is not suitable to the present generation. So by concentrating on the present generation, there is need to bring reforms in its examination system. So in that, first one, making examinations more flexible and integrated into classroom teaching and formative assessment. Next, second one, ensuring that learning is shifted away from rote methods and focused on self-expression. So present teaching learning process is going to completely depends upon teacher and rote memory of the learners. So there is need to change, bring in that area. So In place of concentrating on rote method, there is need to concentrate on self-expression. Next one, grading in place of marks based grading system. Because of the competition in this present generation, if mark system will be there, so those who are having some problems with respect of competition, there is maybe possibility of suicides. To avoid that situation, so in place of marks, what is going to play an important role? Grading system is going to play an important role. Next one, assessment of subject specific academic standards competencies rather than information. We are not going to do the assessment the information which students have. We are going to do the assessment and evaluation by concentrating on the conceptual academic standards or learning competencies. Next one, assessment is school based through teacher made test papers. And next one, questions are analytical, open ended, which determine various abilities of children in language which is text independent. Means that, so whenever you are going to prepare any questions, try to prepare a questions in an analytical manner. At the same time, those questions should be in an open ended manner so that children can able to give response in an innovative manner. So if rote memory oriented questions you are going to ask inside the classroom, you are going to prepare those type of question, there is no use of those questions for the learners. Next one, teacher maintaining child wise, subject wise performance register. Means that every teacher has to maintain register both child wise and also subject wise. Next one, the assessment tools are not only pen and paper but also oral, projects, observations, portfolios, classwork, activity reports, etc. So as a teacher, you are doing assessment. You are not going to do assessment only by using pen or paper. At the same time, you are going to use pen and paper. At the same time, you are going to use oral, projects, observations, portfolios, classwork, activity report. Means that by using activity report you are going to assess the learner. By using a classwork also you are going to assess the learner. By using portfolios also you are going to do the assessment of the learner. By using observations, projects, oral expressions, by using all these areas you are going to do the assessment and evaluation of the learners. Next one, evaluation made comprehensive including co-curricular areas such as art education, games and sports, work experience, value education, etc. So we are going to do comprehensive evaluation by concentrating on both curricular area, co-curricular area. So in co-curricular area, what will come? Art education will come, games will come, sports will come, work experience will come, value education will come, life skills will come. Next one, evaluation made continuous and now become part of teaching through formative assessment. So when you are going to do evaluation in school education system, that should be part and parcel of the formative assessment. Already in first topic I was explained what is a formative assessment, testing the knowledge of the learners without using any question paper. Okay, next here last one, progress report with descriptive statements on children's performing covering all curricular and co-curricular areas. So these all are the examination reforms. Next, what is CCE? CCE refers to a system of school-based assessment that covers all the aspects of students' growth and development. The main aim is to find out how far the curricular goals were achieved. It emphasizes twofold objectives. First one, continuity and evaluation and assessment of broad-based learning. Second one, behavioral outcome, academic and curricular standards. Because after teaching and assessment of the learner. So you are going to expect that some behavioral changes are going to take place among the children by concentrating on the academic standards and also learning competencies. Next, CCE comprises three terms: continuous, second one comprehensive, third one evaluation. So here we will discuss one by one. First one, continuous. Assessment is regular and periodical. Evaluation of students' growth and development is continuous process rather than an event, built into the total teaching learning process and is spread over the entire span of academic session. Means that it is a continuous process. It will go on till the end of the class, till the end of the academic year, also by concentrating on curricular and co-curricular areas. Next, second one, comprehensive. Comprehensive means what? By covering all the areas. It is an holistic approach, covers both scholastic and co-scholastic areas, means that curricular and co-curricular areas. It provides ample opportunity. Ample means number of opportunities for the child to grow in all areas. Next, third one, evaluation. Evaluation is assessment of child in all aspects. The emphasis shifted from testing to holistic learning. We are not going to test one area, we are going to test each and every area. Because of that reason only, evaluation is an holistic process. Next, when we want to do assess, what we have to be assessed? What is to be assessed? The total feedback on child's learning include the child's learning and performance in the different subject domains. Next, second one, the child's skills, interests, attitudes, motivation, etc. Next, third one, the changes that are happening in the learning process and the behavior of the child and developments that have occurred in a stipulated period of time. And the last one, the reaction of the child to the different contexts and opportunities in and out of the school. So these areas we are going to be assessed by using continuous comprehensive evaluation, continuous comprehensive assessment. So then we have types of assessment. We have two types of assessment. One is formative assessment and the second one is summative assessment. Formative assessment means whatever assessment we are going to do without using any proper question paper, that is going to be called as a formative assessment. Summative assessment means by using a particular question paper, by using blueprint weightage table, whatever question papers we are going to prepare and test the knowledge of the learners, so that area will comes under in summative assessment. Thank you.